Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the most inclusive pop culture podcast on the planet, the Fun Pop Fan Guys. Cue the music. Uh, hey,
Yay.
welcome back, everybody. My name is Rich Morton. I'm the director of Center for Music and Creativity, as we affectionately call CMAC. I am your co-host, and this is the Fun Pop Fan Gang. And we're excited to be here today to all discuss a topic that I think everybody can relate to, which is music. I dig music. And we have our Fun Pop Fan Gang here tonight. Boys edition. And I'm gonna pass it over
Business.
to my co-host and our moderator, Mr. Mark Lazal.
Thank you for that introduction, Rich. Always great to see you and the rest of our panel here. I'm very excited about tonight's topic. A certainly music is the glue that binds us all. So let's get to meet our panel of experts. Starting off, we have our good friend Eric.
Hello.
Hello, Eric. How's your week been?
Too good, Mr. Mark.
Excellent. Looking forward to hearing your words of wisdom on this topic. And next
I
up, we
like
have
your background.
yes, thank you. Uh, Tried to make it appropriate for our episode today, the classic rock episode, and put myself in an old record store, the kind that I used to shop in when I wore a younger man's clothes.
No, you
Uh,
kiss songs.
Next up, we have Big Mike. How's it going, Mike?
How are you doing?
Doing great. I know you've got some great insights on this topic. We've heard you talk about music many times, even in a rock band yourself. So we know you're going to have some great things to say.
Podcast.
The Rockers. Thank you for
Yeah.
that plug, Eric.
Yeah.
And
Look,
of course, we have our good friend Jonathan. How's it going, Jonathan?
Good. How are you, Mark?
Doing great. Always doing great on the podcast when I get to be in the company of my favorite people here. And Jonathan as well, in two rock bands, also a professionally trained vocalist and a multi-instrumentalist and actor. So I know that this is a topic near and dear to your heart as well, Jonathan. And of course, uh, to be in the presence
boy.
of Long Island music legend Rich Morton here. Uh, this truly is an expert panel on this topic. And so I know nobody wants to hear me flap my yapper. So let's dive right in and get down. We got some very serious business. Let's get down to business.
Let's get down to business, to
All
the
right,
big
let's let
guns.
Long Island legendary guy kick off this thing here. Mark, you really flattered me. I'll give you that $20 later for that little
Uh,
No
sentiment.
flattery at all, Rich Morton. How many people can say that they have been a staple in the Long Island music scene over 5 different decades, right?
Really aging me, but this is true. I have been,
What?
I have been in bands, and it's amazing. Yeah, how many years? And of course, there are people on this panel who I've shared a stage with more than once as part of the Rockers, obviously, with Mr. Big Mike, and then Mark
Rich?
going way back to our
Way
bands
back.
with the now famous Delilah Paz. Um, Anyways, we're gonna jump
and their
into
schedules.
where the music of the future. We're gonna talk about the music of the past, the
Yay.
classic rock bands.
Yay.
And here we go.
Go.
Classic rock bands. First up, Eric,
Yes.
where do you think we should start this? What band would be appropriate?
From the 60s, the Beatles.
There you go.
There it is. where it all began. I
And
tell
is
you,
that
something about this band really bugs me.
nobody's laughing? It's like you hit crickets.
Oh man,
Sound
Rich,
of silence.
I don't ever go for the laugh. I go for the groan.
Uh,
There it is. Thank you, Eric. That's all I wanted. All right, Eric, tell us about when did you start listening to the Beatles?
with my family and part of the world, I think. I don't know.
Beatles are one of those bands that
Yeah,
uh, just multi-generational. A lot of times the music that our parents listen to, it's
and
like you don't want
and
almost like you don't want to
also they
listen.
did the movies.
The movies. Talk about the movies that the Beatles did.
No, this night, submarine, such a Pampers.
And
Hard Day's
well,
Help
Sergeant Pepper's came later. That wasn't actually the Beatles in it. But
and
somebody help me out. What movie are we missing? Help me out.
help.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
There you go.
And it wasn't it? Didn't they make one called Let It Be?
Yeah. What?
Or was that the documentary that Peter Jackson made?
Actually, Let It Be was a movie intended
It
to be a
was.
movie of showing them originally to
Across the
get back
universe.
to get back to where they once belonged, but it went from that until Let It Be, so it all changed. But yeah, it was actually a theatrical release by the
Hmm.
Beatles, pretty much
And
after they already broke up, but nobody knew about it until after the movie was released.
and
But yeah.
then
So
uh,
Eric, you say Hard Day's Night, which is a good way to start because that captured the beginning of the Beatles, which was Beatlemania, and
right.
that's where it started. So like Big Mike,
I bet
what's one of your favorite Beatles songs, Big Mike?
My favorite, Octopus's Garden.
Octopus's
Ah,
Garden.
Garden.
Good
Yes,
pick.
that's
And what was that
yes.
other song you mentioned before?
across the universe the movie.
Across the Universe.
The
So many
movie.
different good ones. Um, yeah, but the Beatles went from
It's a movie and in the song title.
that's
Right.
right. So the Beatles went from the Mop Tops, right, on Ed
Yeah, I'm
Sullivan.
on top here.
Yep.
What
There's
was their biggest
Sullivan.
song when they started, Mike? Big Mike?
Let hold your
Say,
hand. Sorry.
like, why hold your hands? Right, Mark? Right,
Yeah, I
Rich?
want to hold your hand,
I want to
right?
hold
And
your
they went from
hand.
these Mop Top guys to these really serious, introspective Beatles. So the Beatles definitely, when you think about classic rock, where it all started, they started as like this little pop quartet, and they took over the world, what they called the British invasion, where the Beatles and then a bunch of other bands followed. But they went from that to some incredible things over the years. Jonathan, what's one of your favorite Beatles songs?
Um, One of my favorite Beatles songs would have to be uh Come
That's it.
Together,
Come
Yeah.
together. Classic.
Lady
Yeah.
Madonna.
Mm.
That's the number one album song.
Lady Madonna, that's a great pick.
And
You
Jonathan,
know,
you're
I really loved her early hits like Borderline and well, oh, you mean Lady Madonna, not
Yeah.
Madonna
the
Madonna.
song, the
Yeah, that's
song.
a
Oh,
song, not
what am
the
I
female
thinking?
album.
Jonathan,
So,
and so Jonathan, for our audience who might not know, is in two different, very successful rock bands that perform around Long Island, the Dark Eagles and Mayhem Li. And in your years of performing on
It's not a
stage,
great
Jonathan,
band.
have you ever performed any
It's
Beatles songs?
well, it's don't.
Yeah. In Mayhem, we do Lady Madonna.
All right.
the Scoundrels actually performed "Come Together." They're just some other band from Long Island. Them
Ah,
Scoundrels.
them
Eh,
scoundrels.
them
Eh,
Scoundrels. They got a pretty good song that could really be a good theme song for this podcast. Oh yeah, it is.
Yes, look at that. That is our
Destroy
great.
Me. That started it out. Actually, that's one of those songs that went way back where
what
Mark and
song?
I were in the band together doing that song.
Oh,
Yes.
But
Well, it is.
yeah, so the Beatles, huge. They were one of the biggest influences They actually, if you listen to their whole catalog, they went from this poppy sound to like basically helping to kind of start or establish a lot of different subgenres of rock. They had the songs like Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds, like psychedelic rock. You had
The movie Submarine.
the movie Yellow Submarine, very psychedelic movie. So
Yeah.
like Eleanor Rigby, which was like almost Baroque rock, meaning they brought all
That's the
these
same
strings
movie
and
from
everything.
that
Uh,
song.
that's right. There's so
The
many
whole
different
theme
kinds of
idea is for that movie. It's
right.
set.
Helter Skelter, very much a one of the first really really hard rock bands. Paul McCartney tried to be as hard as possible, kind of like
And you
an
hear
early heavy metal tune. But
you hear Rick the Star say, "Has peas in my feet, guys." After that song ends.
I got blisters on my fingers. That's right. So that's the Beatles, guys.
Yeah.
And I have to say, the Beatles were one of the first things that got me into music. My dad got me into the Beatles, one of the huge Beatles fans, and my first guitar songs I ever learned on the guitar were all Beatles from an Easy book. Easy, I think I actually have that book still. Easy Guitar, and I learned all these Beatles songs from the chords. But anyway, good first way to start this out, Eric.
All right.
And from Liverpool to the other side of England, there's another band that
Rolling Stones.
Rolling Stones. How'd you know that we were going to talk about the Rolling Stones?
I just thought of that.
Well, there's
Good
no
pick.
way we could discuss rock without talking about
One of my songs is called Paint Black.
Hold on one
Painted
second,
Black.
guys. We got to try not to interrupt and jump in. We got to wait till your cue to jump in, okay?
Got it.
There's a lot of chatter, a lot of chatter. When somebody's talking, let's try not to talk under them
I'm
or
not
over
trying
them,
to.
but
It's
to the
hard to
side of
say
them.
it.
But everything you're saying is awesome. We
Yeah.
just got to say it at the right time.
Got
Got it. All right, back to the bad puns.
Who said painted black? Somebody said
I
painted black.
did.
You did.
All
Yes,
right.
that's a pretty dark, ominous song. I
Hold
think
on a second, Mark. I paused it, so I'm gonna put it back. Ready, and we're back.
It's still recording still.
We're recording.
Small.
Okay. So the Rolling Stones.
Yeah. There's downs on the one ends.
The Rolling Stones. So when I was doing my research for this topic, um, as I figured, a lot of different top 10, top 50, top 100 bands of all time. Number one was the Beatles, and number two were the Rolling Stones. Almost every list you look at, you seem to find that. So, and back in the day, they were peers and they were kind of like rivals. But I have
Yeah.
to say, the Rolling Stones, one of their first biggest hits was actually a Beatles cover, which was "I Want to Be Your Man." So, anybody
Let's
out there have a favorite Rolling Stones song?
say before play Paint Black.
I'm gonna put my vote in for Wild Horses.
Oh, such a great song. Such a great song.
I
It's one of
say
my
Paint
favorites.
Black.
Painted Black, which also features something that the Beatles and the Stones brought into popular music, which was Eastern Indian music. It features a
Yeah.
sitar, which George Harrison from the Beatles and Brian Jones from the Rolling Stones actually brought into Western music. So good pick.
I like
What
Oh,
about
Jumping Flat Jack.
That's a class.
yes?
Jumping Jack Flash, and I believe the Rockers cover that one. Is that true, Big Mike? Yeah, the
I
Rockers
think
do.
I saw you guys playing that.
You might have. You might have. Yeah, Jumpin' Jack Flash, definitely a favorite song of mine. We might mention this band later, but a little band called Guns N' Roses did a really cool cover of that song, which was never officially released.
Wow.
Uh, but actually, I remember
I
back
like
when I
what
was a younger guy, there was a DJ on, I think it was Z100 at the time, which actually played
oh
rock music, and the DJ spun their cover, which was a bootleg, and allegedly got arrested for doing it because he played bootleg songs.
Oh my
Although
gosh.
it might have all been a
Oh
hoax.
God.
But
Oh
with
God.
that's the Rolling Stones.
Yeah.
Also, a movie starring a young Whoopi Goldberg
Big God.
Whoopee.
Jumping Jack Flash. That is
from
Flash.
the
right.
from the 80s.
Yeah.
I love how we tie in all our pop
Yeah.
culture, pull it together. All right. So, you know what? Boop. There you go.
Here's the
Gotta,
tongue, but
you gotta love that logo.
Oh,
that's
All
your
right,
symbol.
guys. Surf's up.
oh my goodness.
Yes.
We got when we talk about classic rock bands starting with the 60s, this band
Looks like a
obviously
Bills
has to be
kid.
mentioned. The Beach Boys.
Look at that wholesome bunch of boys, all American kids.
I missed that guy who's in the band before he passed away.
Yeah, Brian Wilson, most recent, uh, definitely the architect and genius behind a lot of the Beach Boys music. But I think Dennis Wilson, his brother, the drummer, he had died a little earlier in drowning. But yeah,
Two. Wow.
Beach Boys. Anybody have a favorite Beach Boys song?
Um, Kokomo with Okasesi.
Does anybody else love Kokomo?
Yeah.
Yes.
Kokomo.
Yeah,
Who doesn't love
Yes.
Kokomo?
How
Yeah.
could you not love Kokomo?
I'm low.
with
But
Okasesi and it.
Yeah.
Yes,
Uncle
Uncle
Jesse,
Jesse. Playing the
I meant
bongos with a pink tank top on.
Yeah.
that's right, and I meant to actually put up a little picture of that, but I forgot to do it. But yeah,
Yeah.
Uncle Jesse, Beach Boys, definitely
The
a
song is forever. Forever.
forever. Speaking of Dennis Wilson, originally written and sung by Dennis Wilson, the song "Forever," but most of us Gen Xers know that song
Full house.
from Full House, where Uncle Jesse and the
And
Rippers
Kokomo.
and Kokomo.
Kokomo. I am going to put my vote in for Good Vibrations.
Good vibrations.
That's a great one, featuring that what is that that
Oh, the theremin.
theremin.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, yes, gotta love that. Jonathan,
Yeah.
you have any favorite Beach Boys tunes?
Yeah, I like Surfing USA.
Ah,
Yeah,
good
Ah,
tune.
that's where it all started. All the surfing songs, right? Surfing USA, Surfer Girl,
right.
Surfing
Catholic
Safari.
Girls.
And ironically, didn't I don't think any of the Beach Boys were surfers. I
Dennis
think that was
Wilson.
oh, he
Dennis
was.
Dennis Wilson's the only one that was actually a surfer. Yeah, as far as I know.
Maybe he was just bored.
And moving on to the next
On the
topic.
Buddha.
Oh man.
What what about you, Rich? What is you got a favorite Beach Boys song?
Yeah.
God only knows.
God only knows.
Pet Sounds phenomenal
Pet
album.
sounds. Pet sounds.
All right there, Mr. Pet Detective. Pet Sounds.
Yeah.
Yeah, such a great song.
That was a beautiful.
Alrighty then.
All right. So, those are the top three of our picks from the 60s. Now we're gonna get rocking. We're gonna get
Rocket.
really into the classic rock, hard
Yeah.
rock of the 60s and 70s.
Alright.
So my vote for one of the top five biggest rock bands of all time has to be Led
Oh
Zeppelin.
my
Oh,
gosh.
please, God.
What? You don't like Led Zeppelin, Eric?
That's my opinion.
That's okay. That's what we do here. We all have different opinions.
Yeah.
Come on,
But
Eric, you can't be dissing this when we're talking in our. You're gonna you're gonna bring down the whole balloon.
No,
This,
I'm not.
come on,
Come on, Rich. Be
uh,
nice.
balloon, Zeppelin,
oh, there it
Okay,
is.
ahead.
Airhead.
Yeah.
All right, okay, I see how it is. Just don't forget, I know where you live.
Hey, that's it.
But anybody
So
else here a fan of Led Zeppelin?
huge fan of Zeppelin, Rich, and I do have to. I have to say, since we're going in the way back machine, kicking up all these memories back in the day, Rich Morton,
It's
myself in a band
KD. Sorry.
played oh my gosh, Good Times, Bad Times.
Yes, we actually did Good Times, Bad Times, and like a medley with How Many More Times. Both
Oh, yes.
Good Times started off that first Led Zeppelin album, and then it ended with How Many More Times on that Led Zeppelin one, and we actually did a medley. One day, maybe I think we actually shared a clip of that.
Like a
Uh,
10-second clip.
yeah, yeah. But
Well, yeah, let's get that up there. How many more Good Times, Bad Times?
yeah. So yeah, Led Zeppelin, one of my biggest influences. When I first heard Jimmy Page's guitar on the solo to Heartbreaker from Led Zeppelin 2, that was one of those moments where I was
No
like,
Michaels?
I want to shred on the guitar. There were two songs, Heartbreaker from Zeppelin and another song I'll
No
mention later.
Michaels.
But really wanted me to learn how to play guitar. Anybody else here? Jonathan, are you a fan of Zeppelin? Any tunes you like by them?
Yeah. I don't really have a favorite song. I just, in general, like, I don't really know some of their music.
Okay, well, you know what? We'll have to have an educational portion. I'll have to send you some YouTube tracks. Just there's one song that's called "Stairway to Heaven." Just never go into a music store and play that. That's I've learned my
Uh,
lesson from that.
famous scene in Wayne's World. No
Yeah.
stairway. I will
Oh,
say I'm gonna
Denied.
I'm gonna be greedy and
Joy.
I'm gonna name two favorite songs of mine. I'm a big fan of Over the Hills and Far Away. Uh, and then another tune that I am especially fond of because of the Lord of the Rings references in the lyrics is Ramble On.
Excellent, good choice. And Immigrant Song, "In the Darkest Depths of Mortar." That was
Yeah, what
another Lord of the Rings reference. Yeah.
that was Ramble On, wasn't it? In the darkest depths of Mordor, there was a girl so fair, but Gollum and the evil one.
Yes, you're right. But there's also, I'm pretty sure there was a in the dark depths of Mortar, a little girl so fair.
That's Ramble On.
Ah,
There's
And then he
two
references Gollum,
podcasts.
and Gollum and the
right.
evil one crept up and slipped away with her.
That's right. Yeah. Immigrant Song, actually, now that I think about it, was about Vikings. But I think there was another song that featured them because they were big Tolkien fans. But
Yes.
yeah, Led Zeppelin. So moving on to the next, probably the second biggest hard rock, heavy metal pioneers, a little band called Black Sabbath.
Here we go. Ah.
Here we go. You got something to say about Sabbath, Eric? You got a
Yeah,
favorite
I man.
Iron Man. Ah, yes. Classic tune.
Featuring this guy,
Yeah, Spartan.
Sash.
Ozzy Osbourne.
Ozzy.
Ozzy.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Ozzy Osbourne.
Yeah.
Ozzy Osbourne, a great career in obviously starting with Black Sabbath and having a huge solo career. So Ozzy was a big influence on actually Ozzy and Robert Plant from Zeppelin, two of the biggest frontmen that really launched that kind of hard rock, classic rock frontmen. Um, well, we're gonna start really moving through. So we've named some big ones. So we're gonna start to kind of like stroll
Ooh,
through this a little bit.
ooh, Rich,
Why?
before we leave the 70s, I just got to throw out real quick. I can't let this episode go without mentioning my number one favorite band of all time, uh, Rush.
Rush. Well, you know what, Mark? You got ahead of yourself.
Oh, are they? I thought we were leaving the 70s here. Are they part of the 80s?
They're
Oh, are
going to
they
be
part of
coming
the?
up. They're going to be coming
Sorry,
up.
sorry,
They're
Rich. I
coming
didn't
up.
mean to.
But
I didn't
but
mean.
no
I didn't.
no.
I didn't want to rush you there.
That's all. It's a pertinent thing that we follow. But yeah,
Come
we'll
on,
get
Rich.
back. We'll get back there. We'll get back there.
All
But
right, giddy up. Let's.
now we're going into the 70s and what we say glam and shock rock. and these are all kind of bands we've touched on before. But when we think of glam rock or shock rock, we gotta say this gentleman right here,
Alice Cooper.
Cooper.
Alice Cooper. Who, and in reality, so you guys know that the name of the band it was actually Alice Cooper, and it wasn't who we now know as Alice Cooper. But the Alice Cooper, when they first started the band, was actually just the name of the band, and wasn't the gentleman here. But he's now the front man. So when we say glam or shock rock, how they kind of dressed up in makeup and did kind of like brought theatrical and even a little horror into it. Does anybody know any other acts maybe from the 70s that kind of had like a glam thing going on?
Oh,
Yes.
I'll throw a few up here.
Oh my
David
God.
Bowie,
Bowie.
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 Freddie
David
Mercury.
Freddie
Talk
Mercury.
about
Mercury.
Queen, theatrics, right? The theatrics of Queen. Uh, oh, wait a second.
Ah, look at that.
Yes.
All right.
There
Yes.
we go.
Yeah.
Kiss. So, of these bands on this screen, anybody have any favorite songs, any favorite albums, any memories?
Known for this guy here, Alice. I like his song Schools Out.
School's out.
That's how.
Classic.
School's out for summer.
Damn,
And
school's
Bowie.
out forever.
And for Bowie, like Space Oddity.
Bass Saturday. So Bowie, one of the first, not one of, well, a big innovator on the glam rock, but also concept albums and kind of
And for
progressive.
Kiss,
And dressing up,
it's
making
made for
himself into a
you.
character, Ziggy Stardust.
Ah, yes.
Um, yeah, but
And for Kiss, I like What's Made for You.
I was made for loving you.
I mean that one, yes.
A very polarizing song in the Kiss catalog. Nobody thought that Kiss would ever go disco. It was a sad day for the loyal Kiss fans, but it was actually, I think, one of their more successful songs on the charts, although it did alienate their fan
I
base.
like favorite
it did
Kiss song
alienate their
called
fan
We
base.
Will Rock You.
We
Yeah,
Will
We Will
Rock You.
Rock You. Talk about like anthem rock.
Yeah.
Uh, Queen, Freddie Mercury. Queen started out kind of like a glam band, and then they got really into they brought opera into it, and obviously everybody knows Bohemian Rhapsody. But
And
they're kind of
Rusty is one of his
always
favorite
very theatrical. I
songs.
think glam is very theatrical, a lot of that. And speaking of bands that like kind of wear makeup like Kiss and do this kind of things, we have to mention one band that we have a connection with, which is Twisted Sister.
Ah,
It's his
Twisted
sister.
Sister. Jonathan, you know Twisted Sister. You got a personal message from the front man, Dee
Oh
Snider.
yeah. It's Naya, yes.
Do you want to tell that story, Jonathan?
Yeah. We had a one of the gigs that Mayhem did was at Free, and Dee Snider's brother was there, and he filmed our performance of "We're Not Gonna Take It" and sent it to him, and we got a shout out. He gave a shout out to us.
A personalized message. I saw this video on Facebook. It was amazing. Dee Snider came out
It's
to directly tell you guys how much he enjoyed your cover of his song. A beautiful moment. Side note, I used to serve Dee Snider his breakfast at Better on a Bagel on Wisconsin Highway. And even though they made me work in back of the house because they said my sandwiches looked beautiful, but I was very slow making them. So they're like, we can't have you slowing up the line, but we'll have you roll dough in the back. But they knew I was a big heavy metal fan and a big Twisted Sister fan. So when Dee Snider would come in, my coworkers would come to the back to get me and they just to let me help him. And
That's really awesome.
I got to say, he was always so incredibly cool and friendly and just really awesome. And I think that that's a great way to gauge somebody's character by how they treat service workers.
Absolutely, absolutely. I had an experience with another member of a band, which maybe we'll get into next time. But I was a service worker as well, and I worked at a cafe called in a store Wild by Nature, one of
I
Trader
don't know.
Joe's competitors up here, I guess. And Mr. Richie Blackmore from the band Deep Purple used to come in all the time and sit at the cafe. Um,
Oh,
get
wow.
into that. But yeah, but getting back real quick to D. Snyder. So yeah, D. Snyder was on our list of Long Island entertainers, Long Island celebrities when we did that podcast, and I definitely have
He's
that
an
connection.
uncle of the two brothers,
That's right, Eric. Who are his nephews that you know?
Trevor and Clay Snyder.
Trevor and Corey Snyder, who actually Jonathan, you and Eric go to program with that you are your fellow students of the performance arts. And I didn't D. Snyder actually come to Bethpage to visit one time?
Yeah, we did a drumline show at the Stala Center, and he came to the Stala Center.
That's really cool. Well, you know what, guys? I have something that I want to suggest. You know what? We got so much more to get into with this. We're only like scratching the surface. The queen of the podcast couldn't be here tonight, unfortunately. But you know what? I think we're gonna stop it here and we're gonna do a part two
Oh, I love
of
it.
this. Part two, and we're gonna bring it back because the next section is gonna be really cool. We got a lot of bands getting in there, and that starting with one of them is somebody a band that I think Ms. Dawn will have something to say about. So let's do that, guys. So we're gonna say end of part one, and Fun Pop fan guys, got to say we'll see you in the next one. But before we
Hip hip
go,
hop.
Eric, what do we got to tell our
Oh,
faithful audience?
subscribe and subscribe, comment, and prepare for the next episode.
That's right, Eric,
Guess
and
like.
make sure to put some comments. Who were your favorite bands? Who haven't we mentioned yet? Well,
Yeah.
we got a lot more to go in our next
Mhm.
video,
Mhm.
and I want to say thank you for the to the whole gang. Mike, thanks so much. We'll see you in the next videos.
You too, Rich.
All right. Mr. Jonathan, always contributing to all our videos, music being one of your big expertise of music. So thank you for being here, Jonathan. And Mark, our moderator co-host, thank you for doing this. I think that, yeah, so we still got a whole nother video we're gonna make out of this. So thank you, Mark, as always, for helping to wrangle us all together.
Oh, it's been a privilege, Rich. And of course, thank you for all that you do to just keep the process flowing with those great AV slides. And yes, I'm so glad that you announced the second part because yeah, I feel like haven't even really gotten into the meat and potatoes of it all. So I'm
Inviters.
looking forward to, we're gonna have another great episode here. So thank you everybody for tuning in. Don't forget to give us a like. Please subscribe. Give us a comment. We want that interaction. We want to know who is watching and listening. And on behalf of the whole panel here, thank you everybody, and we look forward to seeing you for part two.